Okay, so this comment says, the entirety of Christianity is false. You're worshiping a God taught to you by your slave masters. Now look, I want to be abundantly clear that my page is a page of learning. And so we're going to learn a little bit together. Slavery lasted, transatlantic slavery, which is what I believe you're referring to, because we're talking about U.S. slavery, right? So that's transatlantic slavery. Transatlantic slavery lasted 400 to 500 years. Christianity, the Bible, the text, is over thousands of years old. So what does science say about Christianity and life and the beginning of life? The Garden of Eden, scientists say, was in Africa. As we all know, scientifically speaking, the most diverse, genetically diverse group of people there are Black people. We are the most genetically diverse. That is also why they utilized Black people when it came down to do medical experimentation. Why? Because if it works for us, it works for almost everybody else. However, if it works for everybody else, it doesn't mean that it works for us. Okay? Thing number 2. Scriptures, those stories. Did you think that Egypt was somewhere that Africa wasn't? Egypt is in Africa. When they talk about Egypt, they're talking about Africans. But beyond that, where is the oldest book, Bible, found? It's found in Ethiopia. And why is this important? It's because King Solomon in the Bible was having some dealings with whom? The Queen of Sheba. Who's the Queen of Sheba? Broadly known by historians, a queen from Ethiopia. Christianity is a part of Ethiopia's national religions. Ethiopia was never colonized. You see, so colonizers didn't bring Christianity to Ethiopia. How do they know about it? I 100% believe that everyone is able to believe however they will. In Christianity, it literally says you choose. You have to choose to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Christian, but it is solely your choice. And as for me and what I know to be true about Christianity in my life, I also exercise that same liberty and freedom for other people's decision to be able to choose. But the thing about Christianity, where you say it's in the entirety of Christianity is false, history would like to say that that's not true. Historians have been proving the occurrences of the Bible for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. Same exact thing with science. Has been proving the reality of the stories in the Bible for hundreds of years. So the entirety of it cannot be false. And I'm very leery of making broad assumptions about anything, because broadly you'd be incorrect. Now, it is clear that you and I don't believe the same thing, but it doesn't mean that we can't be friends. Like, one thing that I just never understood is how we can have this belief when a lot of the stories literally take place in Africa. And just because they don't call it Africa, you don't know that they're talking about Black people. Some of the 12 disciples are Black people. They're Black. So how is it that we can then be underneath the belief that white people decided to create a story about miracles, signs, and wonders that happen amongst Black people and then say, we all made this up so that y'all can believe this? these stories, are thousands of years old, have you ever heard of white people making a savior someone that's not white? But that's okay. This is the reason why the whitewashing of history in general is very helpful. Because there's this wonderful university called Timbuktu. And Timbuktu was in, that's right, Africa. Timbuktu is responsible for teaching Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Pythagoras went there. You may be aware of who these people are that I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, these are the brains behind modern thought in a lot of different areas. You see, worldwide, it was known that in order for you to be able to be smart, you had to go and study Timbuktu. Yes, Alexander the Great went to go and study at Timbuktu because one of his professors was Plato. Come in, colonizers. And do you know what no longer exists today? The Great University of Timbuktu. Now, I'm underneath the belief that this ancient university, had it not been destroyed, would have a lot of historical artifacts that would clear up a lot of different historical things. But one thing that we do have to understand is that the Christian Bible is not just a book for faith and religious beliefs, but it is also a book of history. History that historians have proven to have actually occurred. It intersects the timelines, the people, the actors. It intersects. And no one in the Bible is without fault. That's the most amazing part. And before you ask, this Queen of Sheba, she had money. And that's why Solomon wanted her so bad. She was smart. She went to go and see what Solomon was talking about. And also, for those of you guys that don't know, the richest man to ever walk this world was a African man. Listen, you're not supposed to believe anything blindly. So I applaud you for asking your question. But I have friends that believe a lot of different faiths. And I'm okay with that. Because my religion tells me that it's their choice. So when I see someone talking about their religion, I don't comment that they're wrong and everything that they believe is incorrect. Because as C.S. Lewis stated, who once again was an atheist who sought to study Christianity to prove it was false, and he became a Christian. This is what C.S. Lewis says. C.S. Lewis says, if Christianity is wrong, what have I lost? It's not important. If Christianity is right, then it seems of grave importance. I don't announce that I'm a Christian because it is my religion that tells me that people should know that I'm a Christian because of how I treat others. That's how you should know. And that's what I strive to be.